All right, guys, we got quite a new ad here that just dropped in the race in Pennsylvania, the U.S. Senate race, Oz versus Fetterman. Now, there's been a big scandal over the past day or two where Fetterman did an interview, and he needed closed captioning in order to do the interview, which is, when the reporter would ask a question, it would be, put on a computer screen in front of him in text so that he could fully understand it and react to it. The reason why he's doing that is because he just had a fucking stroke. So he's slowly but surely gaining back all of his functions, and this is, a common thing for somebody who's in a position like that. But now this has exploded into a scandal where people on the right are saying, that disqualifies you. And even mainstream media that's supposed to be sort of a liberal leaning, you would think maybe they'd either stay neutral in the race or have more of a default alliance with Fetterman. They're not doing that. They're sort of trying to gin up some both sides bullshit. They're trying to... I heard Andrea Mitchell compare, is it any different, the Republicans who are still going to vote for Herschel Walker, for, the Democrats who are still going to vote for Fetterman? So, in other words, Herschel Walker violating his own stated principles and funding abortions. Isn't that the same thing as a guy who just had a medical condition and now needs closed captioning for interviews? I mean, this stuff is totally brain dead, totally unfair to John Fetterman. FDR was in a fucking wheelchair, and he was one of our best presidents ever. Okay? I don't care if Fetterman needs closed captioning from now until the end of time. He's a million times better than Dr. Oz. I don't care if he was still in that fucking hospital bed after the stroke. I would still vote for him over Dr. Oz. I would vote for Fetterman's carcass over Dr. Oz, because even Fetterman's carcass would be in favor of the PRO Act, unionization, $15 minimum wage, and all of the much better policies. So now we got this ad that just dropped. This was not funded by Fetterman himself, but it was some Democratic group, I think, who funded this. This is on the bombshell story that broke not too long ago about what Dr. Oz was doing with puppies.
She wasn't given a name, only a number, 6313. For 29 days, she suffered in Mehmet Oz's lab, leaking blood, not eating, struggling to breathe. 29 days of unimaginable pain and suffering until Oz took her for the last experiment. Just one of 300 dogs killed in Oz's lab. Mehmet Oz is unfit to be Pennsylvania's senator. SMP is responsible for the content of this ad.
Damn, son. So to give you the exact number, we talked about it the other day, 329 dogs were killed in Dr. Oz experiments. So... what did you guys think of this ad? I'll tell you. Look, from my perspective, here's why I like it. It's factually accurate. That's one thing. And the other thing is, it's really aggressive. It kind of reminds me of an ad that a Republican would run against a Democrat. They'd find some scandal that makes them look like a giant piece of shit, and then they hammer away at it until the cows come home. So, that's good. I like that. It's positive. Now, I was talking to Crystal about this, and she was like, yeah, it's good, but I don't know, not sure. I think the carpetbagger argument was stronger. I think the rich elitist asshole argument was stronger and all that stuff. And, I mean, those are fair points, right? But, it's accurate, it's aggressive, and it's not even Fetterman running it. It's like some outside Democratic group running it. So I don't see what the downside is. If you just hammer away and show who this guy Dr. Oz really is, he's a fucking total con artist, snake oil salesman. He's a puppy murderer with these Dr. Evil-ass experiments. He is an out-of-touch elitist who has 10 homes and lied about it. He's a guy who is not for the working class. He's not going to be in favor of the PRO Act. He's not going to be in favor of $15 minimum wage. The guy's he's terrible. He's terrible. So, my view on it is across the board, aggressive ads, try to pummel them into the ground. This is not the time to take your foot off the gas pedal. This is the time to really lay the hammer down, because the fact of the matter is this race has really tightened. And so it is a fucking coin flip going into Election Day, and I don't want it to be that. So, anyway, there you are. Again, 329 dogs dead because of Dr. Oz experiments. It's good to point that out because so many people, rightly so, are giant dog lovers.